One kick. That's all it takes. One kick, and 80,000 people either love you forever or forget you ever existed. You're standing on the penalty spot. World Cup final. Sudden death. The goalkeeper looks 10 feet tall. The goal looks the size of a letterbox. Your entire life, every 5 a.m. drill, every rejection, every injury, every sacrifice your family made so you could be standing exactly here, comes down to the next 3 seconds. This is not a story about football. This is a story about what a human being is willing to endure for the one thing they were born to do. Before we get to this moment, before the Ballon d'Or, before the £97 million transfer, before the ACL that nearly ended everything, you need to know where this actually started. It started with jumper goalposts, a freezing park, a boy with nothing but a ball and a hunger that never, not once, went quiet. Every level of this career will cost you something. Some levels will cost you everything. Stay with it, because what's waiting at the end of this story is worth every second. This is your life. From first kick to immortality. Let's go. Level 1. The Prodigy, age 7 to 10. You are 7 years old, and you're already different. Not in a way anyone can explain yet. Not in a way a coach can point to in a textbook. It's something in the way you move, a fluency, a naturalness like the ball is not a separate object, but an extension of your own body. Other kids chase the ball. You're always already where it's going. You grow up in a working-class neighborhood just outside Liverpool. Your dad works long shifts at a logistics depot. Your mom does 2 jobs. The house is small, the street is narrow, and the park at the end of the road is where you spend every hour you are not in school or sleeping. You don't have cones. You use jumpers for goalposts. You don't have a coach. You have an older boy on the street named Danny who is 16 and already bitter about football because his knees gave out at 15, and he teaches you things no academy coach ever would. How to beat a man in a tight space, how to use your body as a shield, how to play when you're scared and someone twice your size is coming right at you. One Tuesday afternoon, a man you've never seen before is standing at the edge of the park watching you play. He has a clipboard. He is wearing a red training jacket with a small badge on the chest. 2 weeks later, you are sitting in a waiting room at the Liverpool FC Academy with your mom beside you, her hands clasped to her lap, her best coat on. You're 8 years old. The scout's report on you reads, exceptional spatial awareness, balance beyond age group, natural two-footedness. Recommend immediate intake. You don't read that report until you're 26. When you do, you have to put it down and look out the window for a while. Level 2, the Academy, age 10 to 16. The Academy changes everything, and not all of it is good. 3 mornings a week before school, your dad drives you 40 minutes each way to Kirkby, the Liverpool training complex, and waits in the car while you train. He never complains. He never misses a session. In winter, you can see his breath fogging the car window when you come out. He always has a flask of tea and a radio on low. You're 10 years old, and you're already being assessed. Every touch, every decision, every time you lose the ball. There are boys here from all over the country, some from further afield, a handful of international youngsters, and every single one of them was the best player in their school, their district, their county. Here, you're not special. Here, you're starting from zero. The sessions are technical and relentless. Rondos, small passing circles where the point is speed of thought, not speed of feet. 1-2s and tight channels. Pressing patterns. Positional structure. Things that feel nothing like the football you played in the park. Things that, slowly, make you understand that what you did in the park was instinct, and what you're learning now is intelligence. Your first youth coach is a man named Terry Walsh, ex-lower league midfielder, sharp eyes, no patience for laziness, extraordinary patience for effort. He watches you for 3 sessions and then pulls you aside one Thursday morning. He says, very quietly, you've got it, but having it isn't enough. Every boy in this building has got it. The question is what you do with it on the days you don't feel like it. You don't fully understand that until you are 15. At 15, something shifts. Your body catches up with your brain. You are faster now, stronger, reading the game 3 moves ahead. You are playing under 16ths and regularly being pulled into under 18 sessions. The whispers start the good kind. Coaches talking about you in corridors, scouts from other countries watching the youth matches on cold Saturday mornings. But at 15, something else happens too. A boy named Marcus, your closest friend in the academy, the one you've trained beside since you were 10, gets released. One meeting with the academy director. A handshake. A letter. 5 years of his life, and it's over in 20 minutes. You sit with him in the car park afterward. He doesn't cry. He just stares at the ground and says, "What am I now?" You don't have an answer, but you carry that question with you for the rest of your career. Because you have always known that the line between his story and yours is not talent. It is thinner than that. Level 3, the scholarship and youth team, age 16 to 18. At 16, you sign your first official document as a footballer, a 2-year scholarship with Liverpool FC. It is not a professional contract. It is a promise, yours to the club, and theirs to you, both conditional on everything going right. You move into digs near the training ground, a house run by a woman named Pat, who has been hosting academy scholars for 14 years. She makes you breakfast at 6:30 every morning without being asked and tells you, on your first night, that her rules are simple. Clean up after yourself, be home by 10 on weeknights, and never, under any circumstances, leave your boots by the front door. You are 16, living away from home for the first time, and some nights the silence of that bedroom is louder than anything you've ever heard. Training is now twice a day. Morning, technical work, tactical shape gym. Afternoon, full sessions with the under-18 squad. You are also studying for your A-levels. The club insists, partly because they care, partly because they have seen too many boys whose whole identity collapses the moment football disappears. In your first year of scholarship football, you score 14 goals and register 11 assists in the under-18 Premier League. Numbers that get you noticed. Numbers that also get you a trial with the under-21 squad 6 months earlier than anyone expected. Your first under-21 session, the gap between you and boys who are 19, 20, boys who are almost men, is physical and it is brutal. You are quick, but they are quick and strong. You are sharp, but they have experience that reads your movements before you make them. You get knocked off the ball 4 times in the first 15 minutes. The 5th time, you hold it. The 6th time, you turn your man and play it forward before the press arrives. At the end of that session, the under-21 coach, a former Premier League midfielder named Steve Carlin, finds you in the changing room. He doesn't say much. Just, same time Thursday. You go home and call your dad. He listens to everything, then says, "Don't get excited yet. Get better." You hang up the phone and smile. Then you open your training notes and start writing down everything you got wrong today. Level 4, the professional contract, age 18. The meeting is on a Monday morning in October. You, your agent, a sharp-suited man named Daniel who your family did not trust at first, the academy director, and the first-team technical director. They slide a contract across the table. 3 years. A professional contract with Liverpool Football Club. The basic wage is £3,500 a week, more money than your father earns in 2 months. There are appearance fees, goal bonuses, a sell-on clause buried in the small print that Daniel explained to you the night before in considerable detail. You sign. Your hand is completely steady. You expected it to shake. Walking out of that building, you call your mom. She answers on the first ring, like she was already holding the phone. When you tell her, she says nothing for several seconds. Then, your granddad would have loved this. He passed away the year you joined the academy. He used to watch you play in the park from the bench by the entrance, every single time, in all weather, until he couldn't anymore. You sit in your car in the car park for 20 minutes before you start the engine. The first team is a different world. Training sessions with players you have watched on television since you were 9. The speed of thought required is not double what it was in the under-21s. It is not triple. It is a different category entirely, a level of precision and intensity that makes everything before it feel like a rehearsal. Your first Premier League appearance comes in February. A home game. You come on with 11 minutes left, your team already 3-0 up, the crowd more relaxed than tense. Your touch in the 84th minute is good. You win a free kick in the 88th. It is not a debut anyone writes songs about, but it is real. It happened. You are a Premier League footballer. At 18 years old. Level 5. The breakthrough season. Age 20 to 21. 2 years of patience. 2 years of training with the first team. Watching, waiting, getting 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, never quite trusted with a full game when it really matters. Then the injury happens. Not to you. To the man you're understudying. A hamstring, bad one. Minimum 6 weeks. The manager, a composed, demanding Spaniard named Rafael Montero, who you have exchanged perhaps 30 words with since you joined, calls you into his office on a Wednesday afternoon. He speaks for 4 minutes. Then he says, Saturday. You start. The match is against Manchester City. Away. The Etihad. 53,000 people and a television audience of millions. You don't sleep properly on Friday night. You are up at 4 a.m., sitting on the edge of your bed in the team hotel, staring at your boots on the floor, running the game through your head for the 100th time. The warm-up calms you. The tunnel focuses you. The noise of the crowd, which should terrify you, somehow makes you still. You play the full 90 minutes. You score in the 67th. A first-time finish from 12 yards, not flashy, simply clinical. The right decision made in less time than it takes to think about it. Your team wins 2-1. In the post-match interview, you say all the right things. Modest, grateful, credit to the team. Inside, you are screaming. Your phone has 340 messages by the time you get back to the changing room. You don't look at a single one until you have showered, eaten, and sat quietly for 10 minutes. Your dad texted 3 words, told you so. The rest of that season, you are unstoppable. 15 league goals, 7 assists. Young player of the season. Named in the PFA Team of the Year. The city knows your name now. Kids in school with your shirt on. Your face on billboards. You are 21 years old, and you're only just beginning. Level 6, the big move, age 23. At 23, Real Madrid call. Not through your agent first. Through the club. A formal approach. A number with more zeros than you have ever seen attached to your name. A transfer fee that will make you, briefly, one of the most expensive footballers in history. The week that follows is the hardest of your career so far. Not physically, emotionally. Liverpool is where you grew up. These fans chanted your name when you were 20 and terrified. Your family lives here. The park where Danny taught you to play on cold evenings is 15 minutes from Anfield. But this is Real Madrid. The Bernabeu. The white shirt. The institution that has defined football for a century. Your dad drives you to the park. Your park, the one with the jumper goalposts. You sit on the bench where your granddad used to watch you. Neither of you says anything for a long time. Then he says, you were never going to stay a park footballer, son. You signed for Real Madrid for £97 million. The fee is announced on a Tuesday afternoon and trends globally within minutes. The pressure that comes with that number is something no one can prepare you for. Every performance is now weighed against it. Every bad game is a story about whether you were worth it. Every good game is evidence that you might be. Your first Bernabeu start, you feel the weight of 80,000 people who expect perfection, not effort. And slowly, across months of adjustment, new city, new language, new teammates, new everything, you give it to them. Level 7, the darkest night, age 25. You are 25, at the peak of your physical powers, in the best form of your career, 6 games from the end of the most important club season of your life. And you hear the sound. A soft pop. Not loud. Almost nothing. But you know before you hit the ground. You know before the physio reaches you. You know before the stadium goes quiet. ACL. Anterior cruciate ligament. Right knee. The surgery is textbook. The timeline is 8 to 10 months. Which means you will miss the rest of the Champions League campaign, including the final, which your team reaches without you. You watch it from a private box, your leg elevated, watching teammates lift the trophy you trained for all year, and you feel 2 things at the same exact moment. Pure joy for them, and a grief so specific and so private that you don't know what to do with it. Rehabilitation is the hardest thing you have ever done. Harder than any training session. Harder than any match. Because there is no crowd. There is no result. There is no moment of triumph at the end of each day. There's only the physio room at 7 a.m., and a knee that doesn't bend the way it used to, and a body you no longer fully trust. There are mornings when you drive to the training ground and sit in the car park for 15 minutes before going in. Not because you don't want to work, but because the work is brutal and invisible, and the progress is measured in millimeters, and some mornings it feels like nothing. 8 months and 12 days after the injury, you are back. Your first full training session with the squad. When you make your first sharp turn without hesitation, without flinching, without the ghost of the injury pulling you back, you feel something you cannot quite name. Later you realize it's trust. You trust your body again. 2 weeks later, you play your first game back. 43 minutes off the bench. You don't score. You don't assist. But you are there. You are whole. And you are ready. Level 8. The World Cup. Age 27. You have represented your country since under 17 level. You have played in European championships. You have scored in qualifying campaigns. But you have never been to a World Cup. This time, the team is different. Older, deeper, more complete. The manager has built something over 4 years. A system that suits you perfectly, a team that trusts each other, a squad that genuinely believes. The tournament is in the United States. The stadiums are vast and loud in a way European football rarely is. The heat in the group stage games is extraordinary. 37 degrees in Dallas, the pitch shimmering, the ball feeling slightly different in the dry air. You get through the group. You beat the Netherlands in the quarterfinal, a game so tense it feels like 90 minutes of controlled suffocation. You beat France in the semifinal. France, the reigning champions, with a goal that will be replayed for decades. A first-time volley from 22 yards in the 94th minute that bends into the top right corner before the goalkeeper has processed that you struck it. The final is against Brazil. The night before, you don't sleep at all. Not at 4 a.m., not at 5. You lie in the dark and think about the park, about Danny and his ruined knees, about Marcus in the car park staring at the ground, about your dad in the freezing car with his flask of tea, about your granddad on his bench. You think, all of them brought me here. The final. 107,000 people. The largest crowd you have ever played in front of. The noise when you walk out is physical. You feel in your chest, in your teeth. The game is 1-1 after 90 minutes. Extra time. No goals. Penalties. You're the 5th penalty taker, which means if it goes that far, you will either win the World Cup or miss the kick that doesn't win it. These are the only 2 outcomes that exist. It goes to 5 penalties each, tied at 4-4. Sudden death. You step up. The walk from the center circle to the penalty spot is the longest walk of your life. The goalkeeper is enormous. The goal looks small. Behind you is the silence of 107,000 people holding their breath at the same moment. You have taken this penalty 10,000 times in training. But this is not training. You place the ball. You step back. You look at the goalkeeper. You decide where you're going. Then, this is what you learned from Terry Walsh at 15, from your dad, from every morning you showed up when you didn't feel like it. You stop thinking and you trust everything that came before. You run up. You strike it. Bottom left. The goalkeeper goes right. The net moves. The world ends and begins again at the same time. Level 9. The icon. Age 32 to 35. You play until you are 35. The last years are different. Slower, yes, but richer. You understand the game now in a way you didn't at 21, the way a conductor understands music differently from the way a Prodigy does. You need less space. You need less speed. You see things earlier. You win 2 more league titles. A second Champions League. You finish your career with 312 club goals and 48 international goals. You win the Ballon d'Or twice. But the numbers are not the thing. They are never the thing. The thing is a Tuesday morning at Kirkby when you're 34, visiting the academy for a club event, and a 10-year-old boy follows you to your car and asks, very quietly, terrified, if you can sign his boot. Just the one. His good one. You sign it. You talk to him for 5 minutes. He tells you he's just joined the academy and he's scared because the other boys are better than him. You look at him and you say, every boy in that building thinks the other boys are better than him. That feeling never goes away. Learn to work with it, not against it. He nods, not fully understanding yet. He will, eventually. You watch him walk back through the academy gates, your gates 26 years after the first time you walked through them with your mom and her best coat on, and you feel the whole thing, all of it, compressed into a single moment. Then you get in your car and drive home. Epilogue, the retirement. You retire on a Thursday. No dramatic farewell match, no grand ceremony. A press conference, a prepared statement, a few photographs. You fly home that evening. Not to Madrid, not to a penthouse anywhere. Home, Liverpool, the city that made you. Your dad picks you up from the airport. Just the two of them, like when you were 10 and he drove you to Kirkby in the dark. He doesn't say anything about the career, the goals, the World Cup, any of it. He just says, hungry? Your mom made something. You look out the window at the city going by, the roads you know by shape, the sky that always looks slightly different here than anywhere else in the world. And you think, this is it. This is all of it. This is what it was all for. And somewhere in this city, right now, there's a 7-year-old boy in a park with jumper goalposts, already where the ball is going before it gets there. He doesn't know yet what's coming. The cold mornings and the brutal assessments and the friend who gets released and the injury at 25 and the penalty in the World Cup final. But he will learn, level by level, sacrifice by sacrifice, moment by moment. And one day, if he shows up when he doesn't feel like it, if he trusts the work even when the work gives him nothing back, if he carries the right people with him and never forgets where he came from, one day, 80,000 people will chant his name, and he will not be watching. He will be living it.